Ajuri, I wanted to ask about you. You've touched on a few of the things that I want to ask, but I would want you to give us in more specific terms. We've said it over and over again that Nigerians we've been heartbroken by our government so many times that there's a we don't trust what we read in the papers. We don't trust you saying you will release grains, you will release funds, because we've heard it several times and we didn't feel it. So it is not, you're not dealing with your own. You're dealing with the fact that we have been heartbroken. So you are going to have to prove yourself over and over again to Nigerians to be able to, for us to take you at your word. You spoke about the fact that funds are going to be disbursed to MSMEs, and then you also mentioned the CNG. But I'd like you to clarify those two. Petrol is being speculated to go to 750 naira per litre based on the scarcity of dollar and the international market cost of crude oil. Is that going to happen? And when it does, would it happen before the disbursement of the funds and palliative, or is it a case that we are going to be able, you're sure the government would be responsive in time for that? Number one. Number two, I should take it one after the other. I wanted to ask about the CNG. And will we be able to, as individuals, have access to the CNG
buses,
filling stations? I have a car. Can I convert my car into a gas run car? Do we have enough manpower to be able to do that switch for me? And will I be able to buy gas from the CNG filling stations that NNPC is doing with NIPCO?
Great questions and concerns, and I know what you've raised is very much reflective of what I've heard from Nigerians directly as I've gone on nationwide radio in recent days. To be clear, let's take CNG first. So, as I cited, yes, we have the deal with NIPCO for 56 new CNG filling stations over the course of the next 18 months, with 21 of them coming within the next 8 months. Of course, these things take a bit of time, but I do want to say this. There are a few elements to this that I think are particularly exciting as we get into the details. One is that it's a win-win for the country. We have all of our massive gas resources in this country that are not being domestically utilized, that we're flaring, messing up the environment, and we're not earning any money from it. This allows us to monetize our gas resource while saving Nigerians huge amounts of money at the pump. So it's a win-win for everybody. What I will say is this. Aside from the issue of CNG filling stations, which deals with the supply issue, right? Ensuring that there's accessibility to CNG products nationwide, irrespective of where you live. That's goal number one, and that's what we're dealing with the NIPCO agreement. But it's important to note that that's only one agreement. We have multiple partners that we're currently engaging with, and urgency is the watchword here under President Tinubu. He has no time to waste, and he treats every negotiation with that mindset. So we're talking to other partners such as Greenville and LNG and many others who are very keen to establish filling stations across the country within their virtual pipeline networks. That's their trucking distribution networks that would enable them to be part of this program. In addition to that, I want to mention this very critical point. In addition to having other companies like NIPCO and Greenville and LNG and others that will come into play, also, the president, through the NNPCL, is directing that because NNPC currently has the largest network of retail filling stations across all senatorial districts and states of the Federation, that we're going to now collocate within the existing NNPC filling stations CNG fill-up points, so that we can leverage on the network we already have on ground, which can save us a lot of time. While also getting these private partners involved in CNG, retail. So that's on that. Now you asked a very great question on the issue of demand. We deal with supply by making sure you have the CNG fill-up points all over the country. Now you deal with demand, making sure that Nigerians are in a position to offtake and benefit from CNG. Now, how are we going to do that? There are a few measures. Number one, Mr. President is directed that over a minimum of 50,000 free CNG conversion kits will be granted to transportation companies across all states of the Federation. We want to deal with the areas of transport that affect the bulk masses of our people. These are the lowest income earning Nigerians that are taking buses, that are taking, commercial transport and all of that. We want to make sure that we crash those costs for them before we necessarily start prioritizing the middle class and the elites who have their own cars and their own trucks and all these kinds of things. Let's deal with commercial transport even as we deal with these other classes. But let's give urgent priority to commercial transport. So we're going to be giving out these CNG conversion kits to transportation companies nationwide free of charge. Then after that point, because government cannot obviously fund all CNG conversion kits in the country when you have 13 million vehicles on our roads. So what we're doing is we're going to provide, we're going to leverage on our ability to remove all VAT and customs duties on the importation of all CNG conversion kits in the country to crash the end cost implication on Nigerian consumers who want to purchase a CNG conversion kit. In addition to that move to crash the cost by removing the customs duty and VAT duty on the conversion kits, we're also going to provide, this is very key, financing packages depending on your income level. So if you're a civil servant and you have, let's say, a tukumbo, and you're earning, let's say, 60,000 naira a month, for example, we'll be able to work out an arrangement with you that takes into account your monthly salary and say, look, okay, because you're earning 60,000 naira, we'll allow you to pay 3,000, 4,000 naira a month until you have fully paid for your CNG conversion kit. But meanwhile, on the day that you start your arrangement, you have already converted your car, so you're already benefiting from the savings. So really, in effect, the savings you're going to be getting from using CNG instead of PMS will be enough to overcompensate for even that monthly payment that you'll be paying toward the payment of your kit. So we're not asking Nigerians to magically come up with a 250,000 naira or 300,000 naira for CNG conversion kit. We will have financing arrangement according to your salary classification. Whether you're a formal economic worker or an informal economic actor, we're going to ensure that we cater that for everybody so that everybody can convert their vehicles, whether na keke napep, whether Okada, whether a vehicle and all of that. And then, of course, we're taking care of transportation companies. Then the next one I want to mention, this is very strategic, is that we recognize that if once we have been able to effectively establish both the supply and demand side on CNG, what that now positions us to do very strategically is the president in the immediate term, because of the urgency and the pain that Nigerians are facing, we're going to import CNG conversion kits and things like that. But over the short to medium term, what we're doing is we're incentivizing with tax reliefs companies that will be manufacturing those CNG conversion kits, and we're also going to be rolling out CNG conversion factories across all states of the Federation, where Nigerian youths will be trained and employed to be those who will be fitting the CNG conversion kits in all vehicle classes nationwide. But then the last point I want to make on this is that we're going to be exporting not only the CNG as a product, but also those buses and vehicles that are now CNG fueled. We're going to be exporting those to our neighbors. So we'll be exporting the supply, CNG supply. We'll also be exporting the CNG demand from Nigerian factories that are producing these buses, producing these vehicles with Nigerian jobs, increasing Nigerian tax payment and tax revenue. So it's a win-win on all sides. We see this crisis as an opportunity. And Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is going to ensure that we turn this crisis into a massive economic boon for our country.